Senator Massey came out swinging too. He brought up the fact that the ties between Epstein, Trump, and how he continuously to make sure that certain files in the FBI did not get out. He dropped 20 names that was in the files that they should have told everybody about. Like it just off the rip, you know? So in like under a minute, Senator Massey literally listed 20 names out loud in front of everybody that already was known. Why you got Cash Patel keep saying you the director of the FBI. You keep telling everybody you don't know nothing. You catching niggas in a couple of days that murder people and Charlie Kirk and I can't think of the other senator name. She was found dead and they found I'm talking about within both cases they found niggas in like a day or two. But when it comes to Epstein, the files that have been going on for 3 presidencies, you mean tell me you don't got no information? And then Senator Massey, which is a Republican senator, and he didn't see this nigga coming. I mean, he threw him under the bus, backed up the bus, ran over this nigga again, looked at him, I think he twitched, and backed up over his ass again and ran him over again. Saying, nigga, you knew. Y'all all knew. To his face. And it show you right there that how bad shit done got inside our government when you throw your own party's person under the bus. Like, hey, look, we ain't got shit to do with whatever the fuck shit they doing because we want to be able to walk around outside. And Cash Patel, that's why people be bothering him and Vance and Trump and all them. They got to have all those bodyguards because your judgment coming. Like just like in any neighborhood, and it's a guy that's in the neighborhood that's causing all kind of crime and drama all the time, right? When the police finally find his body, they ain't gonna know who to look for. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, man, we don't. He has so many enemies, and that's what Trump do. He got so many enemies, and then you got the fact that Cash Patel acting like Epstein wasn't some kind of Israeli informant meeting with this nigga from Israel, like that nigga wasn't on some espionage shit, bro. Come on, bro. Y'all shouldn't even let this nigga move around like that. Then you mean tell me y'all naming senators and politicians and actors and princes and kings and all that? Come on, bro. The truth is out there. It is what it is. Ain't nothing you all can do about it no more. And I swear to y'all, anybody that voted for Trump and these suckers, man, you voted for pedophiles. Known pedophiles. If me and you do a crime, do you know damn well we can't be running for president at the same damn time? Or a mayor or a city council or even block club. They're gonna be like, no man, we don't want that nigga head of the block club, man. Or she can't be the head of the block club. She sell dope out the house. She sell sex out the house. Like who? This is what y'all voted for. A pedophile group of niggas that's protecting each other and all this old weird shit. I bet you if it was your baby, I bet y'all wouldn't have voted for Trump. I guarantee it. Y'all would have been clowned that nigga and got him the fuck up out of there. Where I grew up at, we ain't a nigga that did some shit like that wasn't even allowed on the block. You couldn't even come back. But y'all voted for this nigga. Marched for this nigga. Lied for this nigga. The lady from Venezuela, Trump, Trump, Trump. Next week, this nigga get in. What happened? He came for my family. He took my family. He lied to me. He had me going door to door. Had my friends and my family in Venezuela vote for him. And then he came after me. Just for a green card. Y'all should have stayed home in y'all country if y'all want to deal with some old tyrants.
May she rest in peace. That list also includes at least 19 other individuals, one Hollywood producer worth a few $100 million, one royal prince, one high-profile individual in the music industry, one very prominent banker, one high-profile government official, one high-profile former politician, one owner of a car company in Italy, one rock star, one magician, at least 6 billionaires, including a billionaire from Canada.
In just 67 seconds, 20 explosive names, 100,000 pages of FBI documents, and one direct question would expose the biggest institutional failure in federal law enforcement history. A Hollywood producer, a royal prince, a magician, 6 billionaires, 20 men named inside FBI files the director of the FBI personally controls. And one day earlier, that same director had looked Congress in the eye and said, "There is no credible information pointing to anyone else."
Himself, there is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And
Congressman Thomas Massie didn't expect FBI Director Kash Patel to admit, on camera, that he'd never personally read the victim testimonies sitting in his own bureau's files. Patel didn't expect a fellow Republican to be the one who took his credibility apart on live television. Cameras caught every second of it, the pauses, the pivots, the exact moment Patel realized he was caught in a contradiction stretching back through 3 presidential administrations. So what did Massie actually reveal about Epstein's client list that made Patel's confident, no credible information defense fall apart in front of the House Judiciary Committee? What you're about to watch is the moment that promise turned into a trap he couldn't escape. This is not commentary. This is the actual exchange, word for word, inside a congressional hearing room.
Gentleman, yes, back.
Mr. Chairman, I have a unanimous consent request.
Gentleman's recognized.
So I've got 4 documents I'd like to introduce into the record. The first one is Jeffrey Epstein's 6 story played out for years in plain sight. And Acosta is quoted in here saying, "I was told Epstein belonged to intelligence and to leave it alone." The second document is entitled, "What Epstein's Bodyguard Warned About His CIA Connections." The third document is from Fox Digital. It's titled, "Epstein's Private Calendar Reveals Planned Meetings with Obama Admin Official, CIA Chief." And the last document is Wall Street Journal article that highlights Ehud Barak's 36 meetings with Jeffrey Epstein. He was the former Prime Minister of Israel and head of military intelligence for Israel. It may have held that title when he met Epstein, and then, yes.
Without objection, the gentleman will hold for a second. The gentleman from Maryland is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just one UC request. This is Judge Engelmeyer's decision from August in U.S. versus Epstein, stating the government's 100,000 pages of Epstein files dwarfs the 70-odd pages of Epstein grand jury materials.
Without objection, the gentleman from Kentucky is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Patel, I watched some of your Senate hearing yesterday when Senator Kennedy asked you, "You've seen most of the files. Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these women to besides himself?" You replied, according to the transcript, "There is no credible information that he trafficked them to anyone else." You also said somewhere in the hearing and here today that the problem is that the case files are constrained by limited search warrants from 2006 to 2007, and that the non-prosecution agreement hamstrung future investigations. Those constraints only apply to the Southern District of Florida. They do not apply to the Southern District of New York, the location of the 2019 sex trafficking indictment, which produced many things, including a series of FD 302 documents. According to victims who cooperated with the FBI in that investigation, these documents in FBI possession, your possession, detail at least 20 men, including Mr. Jess Staley, CEO of Barclays Bank, who Jeffrey Epstein trafficked victims to, victims including minors, such as Virginia Roberts. You free?
Let's break down exactly what Congressman Thomas Massie just entered into the official congressional record, because every single one of these 4 documents is devastating on its own. Together, they completely dismantle the story Kash Patel told the Senate just 1 day earlier. First, Massie introduced the Acosta document. Alexander Acosta, the U.S. attorney who approved Jeffrey Epstein's infamous 2008 plea deal in Florida, reportedly told Trump transition officials that he was instructed to back off the case. The reason? He was told Epstein belonged to intelligence and to leave it alone. This wasn't some fringe theory. It came from the very prosecutor who gave Epstein one of the most lenient deals in modern history, a deal that allowed him to serve just 13 months with work release while victims were silenced. That single quote raises the darkest question of all. Was Epstein protected because he was useful to powerful intelligence interests? Second, Massie put forward the document detailing what Epstein's own bodyguard had warned about his CIA connections. The man responsible for Epstein's personal security was flagging intelligence ties. This wasn't rumor from outsiders. It came from inside Epstein's inner circle. Third, Massey entered Epstein's private calendar, which revealed planned meetings with a CIA chief and Obama administration officials. These weren't random social encounters. They were scheduled appointments that show Epstein maintained access to some of the most powerful people in government long after he was already a convicted sex offender. But the fourth document may be the most explosive of all. Massey introduced a Wall Street Journal investigation showing that Ehud Barak, the former Prime Minister of Israel and former head of Israeli military intelligence, met with Jeffrey Epstein at least 36 times. Barak flew on Epstein's private plane and visited his homes in New York and Florida multiple times, even after Epstein's 2008 conviction. A man who once ran one of the world's most sophisticated intelligence agencies was repeatedly meeting a known sex trafficker, and nobody in that hearing room objected when this was placed into the record. Kash Patel sat there and heard every word. Just 24 hours earlier, he had confidently told Senator John Kennedy and the entire Senate that there was no credible information Epstein had trafficked victims to anyone else.